Well, bailiff turned up earlier today and we were moving the tents off from down there, as you can see anyhow, and decided to come up here. They'd issued another injunction against my wife and I think the other people that were there, saying they were going to arrest them if they didn't go, but it was our plan for them to go anyhow. Later on, the chief bailiff came along and said we'd all be arrested if anybody was there. They said, I'd give you a couple of hours, and they said that they'd be back, and they said with the people on the roof, they said they'd bring a specialist team, and I and anyone else up here would be off, so we'll see what they turn up with.
Well, we believe this is a step on the road to full-blown privatisation of our school system. The government are forcing through this process of academisation, which means selling off schools to anyone with £2 million to spend. In fact, people aren't even putting the £2 million up anymore. The government are so desperate to find sponsors, they're prepared to delay the payment of it.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere in a hurry. You always wanted to do that, didn't you?
They're taking our schools. The government have to put in about another £30 million of public money, and the private sponsors end up owning a school. We don't believe it's good for children. It's certainly not good for education generally. It's not good for our members. It's not good for local communities.
As you can see, I've chained myself to the flagpole. I'm not going anywhere. The bailiffs have to carry me off. I'm making sure that we're going to save this sports ground and stop the privatising of state education.
The idea is that, and the government's been quite specific about it, that they want every school to become independent and to make its own local choices. And that's, as I say, a matter of a direction of travel. It will cover the curriculum, it will cover admissions policies. In the end, we'll end up with, instead of a state system of education, we'll end up with competing education businesses, each plying their wares in an education market. And in that market, there will be some winners, but there'll be a hell of a lot of losers and a lot of children whose education is severely damaged by it. A few years ago, Lord Adonis took some journalists to Milwaukee in the United States, where they have a voucher system of education where parents are given, in so-called, a small amount of money that they can buy education in a local school for their child. But other schools charge top-up fees on top of those vouchers. And what happens is that children are streamed, but not even on the basis of ability, which we object to. They're streamed on the basis of how much their parents can pay. And we believe that academisation, the takeover of schools by very rich people, by businesses, etc., is simply one more step on the road towards that. We don't believe this is a process of anything to do with educational standards as they dress it up. We think it is about the process of privatisation of public services. That's happening all over the free market world. It's not just in Britain, it's very big business. There is a huge amount of money to be made out of the investment in education in the end, and our Education International, our organisation of education unions throughout the world, perceives this as very powerful and predatory entrepreneurs taking over the process of education and using it for profit, not for the benefit of children.